Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Am I audible to all of you? ओके अतुल ये प्रॉब्लम क्यों तुम्हारे साथ ही होती है? Use the earphones. So should we start the session now? Okay, so in today's session we are going to discuss. It's a very small session, maybe approximately 90 minutes. The questions are easy also in today's session. So let's discuss this. Let's start with the. So I'll also open the poll one by one. For each of the questions, the poll will be for approximately two. I'll give you approximately 2 to 3 minutes for every question. Okay. So should we start now? All right. So this is the first question which is in front of your screen. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll open the poll. No one will mark the answers. You need to write down the answer there already. Okay. In the poll. Can you all hear me? Yes. Okay. So please mark your answers quickly. I'm just going to open the poll. The poll will be open for only 2.5 minutes, so you all can start marking. Please start marking your answer. Mark your answers, all of you. Last 1 minute. Still 7 of you have not marked any answers, so please do that quickly. Last 20 seconds, and still 5 of you have not marked the answers. Please mark your answers quickly, all of you. Okay. All right. So as I can see on the screen, approximately, I can say that just a minute. 78% of you have marked option number 1, 0% of you have marked option number 2. All right. So 0%, 4%, and 4%. All right. So in this case, of course, I'll go with the majority. The answer is this. This is a very, very simple question, not a difficult one. I'll go with the majority, and the correct answer of this question is, of course, option number 1. Okay. So few of you had marked the other options, so let me discuss that before I move to the next question. It's a very simple one. We had done a similar type of the question in the first session. A database software manufacturing company found out that a product it has launched recently had a few bugs. The product has already been bought by the more than 1 million customers. The company realized that bugs could cost its customers significantly. However, if it informs the customer about the bug, it creates losing credibility. What could be the most ethical option. Now, the concentrate on the word most ethical options for the company. So most ethical, of course, option number 2 and option number 3. 4. These 3 can't be the answer because these are not ethical that we should keep silent and do nothing. This is ethically, it is not right. So probably the answer can be either option number 1 and option number 2. Sorry, 5. Option number 1 is apologize and fix up the bug for all customers even if it has to incur loss. Take the product of the market and apologize to customers. I think from the business point of view, this is the option number 1 should be the correct answer here. ठीक है ना? And I think in the last lecture I have given you lot of examples. 4 में wrong क्या? 4 में keep silent. So keep silent about something. ठीक है? Is it an ethical option? Please tell me, Rajendra. Is it ethically correct? If you have done something wrong in your life, if your company is doing something wrong, so उसको चुपचाप रहो. हाँ, credibility की भी question है. Keep silent. Okay, so what's the point? If the company keeps silent, what will happen in that case? ठीक है? If we keep silent and somehow, ठीक है, almost it has got millions of customers. All right. If the millions of customers came to know about all these things, तो उनकी company की credibility खराब नहीं होगी क्या? Keep silent. Where it has been given, he is giving input. It says keep silent. Where it has been given Rajendra, he is giving the product to all the employees. Improved products भी देख रहा है. Okay, and just think logically, if you are giving the improved product free of the cost to all of them, why will any company give a free product to everyone? Don't you question that person? क्यों मुझे फ्री का दे रहे हो यार? मेरे पास तो ऑलरेडी ये सामान है. Then still you are giving me the second. It's like that. Buy one get one free. Don't you think so? Already I have that particular product. Yes, that's right. Ari has come up with that. They will lose customers then if caught. So later on, if somehow they will came to know, they will lose the customers also. And remember one thing. Try to understand. The company has sold its software to more than 1 million of customers. Okay? And this bug poses a significant threat to these customers. So if the problem is left unattended, if you are not going to work on the problem, the company will face a greater loss of credibility, remember. And bad word of mouth also. If it keeps quiet. Because if the company keeps quiet and however the customer came to know about this particular bug, so the word of mouth will kharab hoga yahan pe. So that is one of the reasons that answer can be option number 4. Yes, that's right, Rashi. Perfect. Okay. Take the product of the market and apologize to customer. Now, in both the cases, it is apologizing the customer, and in option number 5, it is taking the product of the market. But remember one thing, it has been bought by more than 1 million customer. More than 1 million customer. ठीक है ना? ठीक है. If they simply take off the product from the market, okay, if you simply take out the product from the market, someone else has signed, what will happen in that case? Tell me. Probably later on, when the company launches the new product, it might be possible, okay, the customer will not buy that product at all. Because एक बार already उनका खराब हो चुका है, and company has taken off the product. So why will anyone buy the? So from the customer point of view, okay, if you are simply fixing all the issues and everything, then the customer will also think, okay, that company is a credible company. Whenever there is an issue, they will always solve the problem. Simply taking off the product, it is not going to solve anything in a long run. ठीक है? कंपनी का नाम खराब होगा ना? Is that clear? For example, if I today decided that, okay, I told you that when we start the decision making and start selling the decision making product, I told you that 5 quant question will be live. And now suddenly I told you today, okay, अब मैं quant के सेशन नहीं लूँगा, last year की सारे recording upload कर देता हूँ, देखिए. So the credibility will be lost. Don't you think so? So सब चीज अब मैं नहीं पढ़ा. All right. Now let's start with question number 2. Try to solve this question. Okay, so I'm opening the poll. You all can start marking the answer. Last 1 minute. Last 20 seconds. Okay, last 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm sharing the result of the poll with all of you. Then we can start with the discussion. 4% of you had marked option number 1, 28% of you had marked option number 2, 56% of you had marked option number 3, 0% of you had marked this, and 4% of you had marked this. All right, let's discuss that. It says the city of Nagar has a population of 10 million. Okay, 2 million amongst whom are rich. So there are only 2 million, 20% of them are rich. Okay, 3 million are poor and 5 million belong to the middle class. Saundara Cosmetics manufactured and sold beauty product to rich class at a premium price. So they sold and manufactured to rich. So they are targeting only the 2 million people as of now. Its products are very popular with the customer. Many people from the middle and poor segment of population aspired to buy these products. So they are aspired to buy these products, but could not afford because of the high prices. Of late, sales growth was stagnating in the rich segment. Okay. Which of the following is the best option for Saundara Cosmetics to maximize long-term profit? Now, if I look at the options, first option, sell the same products at lower prices to middle and poor classes. Sell its products under different brand name, to middle and poor classes. Sell similar products of different standard quality with different. So first three options is talking about selling the products of, in a different way to the middle and poor classes. Fourth says continue to target rich only and hope that today's middle class will book tomorrow and reach classes. ये तो definitely answer नहीं हो सकता है. Can this be the answer? No, no one has marked this answer. ठीक है, of course not, because rich, okay, the market of the rich segment has been already stagnated, so there is no point for going to this one. ठीक है, because it will not maximize the profit. Target middle class as it is the largest segment and forget about the rich classes. Again, this can't be the answer. Why this can't be the answer? Option number 5. Can anyone tell me? Because in this case, you are actually withdrawing the product from the rich segment. So if you are withdrawing the product from the rich segment, so whatever you are earning right now, whatever the revenue it has been generated right now, that is the loss of that particular revenue. Yes. That's why the answer can't be this one here. So this will definitely not maximize the profit because you are simply withdrawing the products from the rich segment here. Is that clear? So the answer can't be option number 4 and 5. So the choice will be among 1, 2, and 3. Any doubts to anyone in option number 4 and 5? Pakka? Now, let's discuss about 1, 2, and 3. Option number 1 says sell the same products. So it is talking about selling the same products at lower price to middle and poor classes. Second says sell its products under different brand being to middle and poor classes. So can you say, if you look at closely to option number 1 and 2, so in the option number 1 and 2, both of them have similar but worded differently? Yes or no? Both in option number 1 and 2, both are similar but they have been worded differently. Both the statements are saying the same thing. Selling the same product under, at the lower prices to middle and poor classes. Now also try to remember one more thing here. Now by selling the product of the high quality at the lower prices, because you are now going to sell the high quality product at the lower prices in the first two options, at lower rate. So definitely it is a loss to the company in the long run. Yes or no? In the long run, it will be a loss to the company. So because the product quality is very, very good. So I can say third, sell similar products of different quality standards with different brand names to middle class and poor class. So that is the correct answer. Why? Because in this case, option number 3, we are actually targeting the middle classes and poor classes with a similar quantity, similar products, not exactly the same product, but of different standard with a different brand name. So anyone who is willing to buy a product of that particular company, they will probably launch. For example, if I take an example of Apple, Apple usually Apple के phones काफी महंगे आते हैं, you all know that thing. A lot of people aspire to buy an Apple. So Apple has launched one product. I think if you know the model, no, not X. I'm talking about there is one model of that side 5C. 5C with the plastic cases. Which is for the general public. Is that clear? So that is one example which I have taken for Apple 5C, iPhone 5C, which is very, very cheap one. So it's better sell similar products but of different quality standard with a different brand name to middle class and poor class. So in that case, the answer should be no. Why would the quality compromises may result to customer dissatisfaction? Why do you think so? Quality compromises. It is saying, of different quality standard, of different standards. For example, there will be some feature which might not be available in that thing. That's it. Okay. Clear? So the correct answer in this case should be sell its products under different brand names to middle classes. So basically what you are going to do, you are going to sell the same products. For example, it is as good as saying the iPhone X की price, iPhone X or whatever the thing is, that उसकी price कम कर दो, so that middle class and poor classes people will start buying that product. So probably in that case, what will happen? The people who are in the rich segment, they will not buy that product. So in a long run, there will be a loss, and also the cost will be high because it's a very, very quality product. It's a premium product. For example, you go to the market, you wanted to eat rice. There is a rice of the brand India Gate also. There is a one India Gate basmati rice which comes at a rate of 210 rupees, 210 per kg with a black pouch. But not everyone can afford. So India Gate has also launched some similar kind of the basmati rices. Daily basmati rice, daily something like that, which is of the not exactly the same quality, but yes, of different standard. Did you got my point, Rajendra? So that you are actually targeting all these segments, rich segment as well as middle and poor segment also. Is that clear now to everyone? So the answer should be option number 3. Any doubt? So this was an easy question, not a difficult one. Can I move to the next question? Question number 3. Okay, try this one. Okay, I am opening the poll now. You all can start marking it. Okay, last 1 minute. Last 20 seconds. Please mark your answer. Okay. So let me share the result of the poll with you. And before the discussion, 0% of you had marked option number 1. 7% you had marked option number 2, 7% you had marked option number 3, 0% had marked 4, and 81% of you had marked this one, and 4% of you had marked this one. Okay. Again, in this case, I'll go with the majority, and with most of you, the correct answer is, of course, option number 5. Now, first of all, you should try to understand. You, a recruitment manager, are interviewing man, a hard-working young man. So he's a hard-working young man who has problem in speaking fluent English. Okay, all right. He has studied in a vernacular medium school and colleges. Among it, the following option, which would you choose to do if your company has vacancy? Now, first of all, try to listen. As a recruitment manager, you should focus on the strength of the man, not necessarily his weaknesses. Okay? So we should focus on the strength of the man. Okay? Now, if, for example, if the man has strength in a particular area where there is a vacancy, then he should definitely be hired. Yes or no? Please tell me. Yes, okay. So if he has a in a particular area, he is very good, and there is a vacancy in that particular area, so he should be hired. Now, as far as the lack of communication skill is there, which is a drawback, okay, which can be rectified through proper training on the job, yes or no? A lot of people have a not a good communication skill, but that can be improved by giving them a proper training. Okay, as long as it is not going to affect his productivity. So among this, I'd say the best option is definitely one. One can't be the answer. I would hire him at all cost. Again, a very extreme word, at all cost. 3, it says I will ask him to improve on his communication and then come back again. Now, if you're asking him to improve his communication skills and come back again, what's the guarantee that he will come back to you? If he's able to improve his communication skills, he might be able to, it might be possible he'll join somewhere, he'll not come back. So in that case, you are going to lose a very, very good resource here. Okay, so the answer can't be option number 3. I would not hire him as he might be a burden on organization because of his poor communication skill. Again, option number 4 is a very, very extreme, so we can neglect it. If someone has asked among 5 and 2, now 5, 2 says I would hire him for production or finance but not marketing job. which requires good. Now, how can you say that Pooja that the production and the finance job does not require? ठीक है, हाँ, production or finance job does not require a good communication skill. In any company, wherever you get, whenever you join any company, the good communication is needed for. In almost all the departments, you should have a good communication skill. So that's another thing we can apply. Okay, Rajendra, that's a very very good question. ठीक है, are you working, Rajendra? कहीं पे जॉब कर रहे हो? No, left the job. Which company you used to work? Siemens. ठीक है, ओके. सो सीमेंस में जॉब किया तुमने, एंड व्हाट इज योर बैकग्राउंड, राजेंद्र? नहीं, हम जस्ट आस्किंग है. ट्रिपल ई. और सीमेंस में जो जॉब मिला था वो किस डिपार्टमेंट में मिला था? इज इट इन द सेम फील्ड इन विच यू हैव स्टडीड or in some different department? So why did you get a job in control and automation if you are from the triple E? Or is it connected with the triple E? Or whether you have been given a proper training in the beginning? For example, if I talk about a company like Infosys, ठीक है, they do a bulk ट्रेनिंग था ना, so क्या जरूरत थी ट्रेनिंग देने के लिए? इससे अच्छा तो किसी और को हायर कर लेते, तुम्हें जॉब नहीं देते. उनका कॉस्ट बहुत लगा होगा ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इन्फोसिस इफ हायर सर्टेन वन, द पीपल go for I think 3 months training in Mysore. Am I right? Those who are working in Infosys probably know that. And same thing goes in almost all the companies. During the initial 1 or 2 months, ठीक है, whenever you are joining any MSCs, you'll be undergone a training to understand everything. Okay. Yes, training is needed. ठीक है. That is a secondary thing. So company invest money in the people. Always remember one thing. Okay. There, not only this, okay, a lot of company, I do not know about it, but I know one company, there is a Harman Technologies, okay, where every year they provide, okay, around 40 to 50,000 to their employees for taking some certification in some other courses. Like they have already got a job, okay, but if they wanted to increase, if they wanted to add something valuable thing in their CV, so the company actually provide them a training cost. They can do a training in any one areas every year. बहुत सारे, the 40 to 50,000 उनका बजट होता है कि they will provide to them. Okay. Because that might be used in some later on in the company. Is that clear now? Can I move ahead? Any doubts, Rajendra? Yes, skill development is needed. Always. चले आगे ना, पक्का? Okay. Now, let's move to question number 4. I'll give you 2 minutes and start this. Now, if the language is a prerequisite, then definitely the answer will change. Man, that's right. If the language is a prerequisite, then definitely the answer will change. Okay. Let's see. Again, it depends upon the options, what kind of option has been given there. Now, let's start with this one. I'm opening the poll. You all can start marking the answer. I think we have done this question already in the very first lecture. We have spent a lot of time. हाँ, तो जल्दी से आंसर मार्क करो फटाफट. If you had already done this question, please mark your answer. The poll has been already. I think this question has been repeated. Okay. The poll is going to, again, 9 of you had not marked the answers. Please mark it quickly so that we can move to the next question. Does anyone want me to discuss this question? I think ये repeat हो रहा है. Same question has been repeated. No, it's exactly the same question. Even the language is also the same. The answer is of course option number 1. We had to explain the basic concept of the decision making. I have taken this example. So, can I move to the next question, guys? Now, please tell me. Can I? In the very first lecture of decision making, we have discussed this question in detail. Okay. Now there is a set of 6 questions. Now tell me, how much time do you want for 6 questions? It's a set of 6 questions. 20 minutes? Nahi. I'm giving you 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, we'll discuss that, okay, how much extra time you need. Okay? So let's first 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes after 15 minutes, we can discuss that. Okay. And no one will mark the answer. So next question, I'm going to give you the right. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So there are question number 5 to 10. It's a set of 6 questions. You all can start right now. Question number 5 to question number 10. Right now 9:36. So 9:36, 46 to 9:50 maximum. Please start all of you. Okay, so I'm opening the poll. The poll will be open for 3 minutes, so you can mark their answers quickly. Please mark your answers. Okay, please mark the quickly. Still 10 of you have not completed the poll. Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds. One of you had not started it. Why? Completed quickly. Still there are 2 people who are in progress. Last 10 seconds. Okay, let's start with the discussion. Let me go through the first. Mr. Raju Singhal, chairman of the board of directors of Loha India Limited, had just been visited by several other directors of the company. So he got visited by other directors of the company. The directors were upset with the recent action of the company president, Mr. Ganesh Thakur. They demand that board consider firing the president. Mr. Thakur, recently appointed a president, had undertaken to solve some of the management he tried to decided to solve management employee problems by dealing directly with the individuals as often as possible. The company did not have a history of strikes or any other form of the collective action and were considered to have a good work culture. However, Mr. Thakur felt that by dealing directly with the individuals, he could portray the management concern for the employees. He thought in this way. An important initiative of Mr. Thakur was to negotiate wages of the supervisor with each supervisor. In this negotiation meeting, he would not involve anyone else, including he is not involving the personal department also, which reported to him, so as to take unbiased decision because he wanted to take an unbiased decision. After negotiation, a wage contract would be drawn up for each supervisor. This he felt would recognize and reward the better performers. Mr. Thakur successfully implemented the process for. Now he successfully implemented the process for most of the supervisors except those working in the night shift. For them, he had drawn up the contract unilaterally, benchmarking the wages of supervisors of night shift with that of the supervisor of the day shift. For several days, Ram Lal, a night shift supervisor, had been trying to seek an appointment with Mr. Thakur about his wages. He was disgruntled not only over his failure to see the president, but also over the lack of discussion about his wage contract prior to its being effective. As a family man with the 6 dependents, he felt his weekly wages should be higher than that granted to him. Last Thursday afternoon, Ram Lal stopped by the president's office and tried to see Mr. Thakur's secretary. Mr. Thakur's secretary refused his request on the ground that Mr. Thakur was busy. Infuriated, Ram Lal stormed into the president's office and confronted the starter, Mr. Thakur, with his demands for a better wage. Mr. Thakur stood up and told Ram Lal to get out of his office and express his grievance through official channel. Ram Lal took a swing at the president, who in turn punched Ram Lal on the jaw and knocked him. Okay, to get out of his office and express his grievance through the official channel. All right, let's start with the first question. Question number 5. So what I can see, most of you had marked the answer as option number 4. Listen. Am I audible to all of you? So let me share the result of poll with you. 52% of you had marked option A, 0% of you had marked option number 2, 34% you had marked option 3, 0 and 10. Okay. Sorry, 3 and 0. 52, 0, 34, 3% and then 0%. And rest 10% of your did not mark. Chalo dekhte hain, let's discuss that. Which is the correct one. It says the most likely premise that Mr. Thakur initiative regarding individualized meeting with the supervisor seems to be. First option, it is involvement of company president in which problems of employees will lead to a better goodwill towards the management among the workers. Okay. Yes, that's right. ठीक है, ये हो सकता है यहाँ पे, because if you look at here in the first passage somewhere it has been given. ठीक है, had undertaken to solve some of the management employees problems of dealing directly with the company. Yes or no? He could portray the management concern for the employees. Also, you can see he could portray the management concern for the employees. So option number 1 seems to be right, that involvement of company president in which problems of employees will lead to a better goodwill towards the management among the workers. So this could be the answer. Employee-related policies should allow scope for bargaining by employees which leads to unsatisfied. ये तो नहीं होगा. That is for sure. Option number 4 also sure because no one has marked that. Now, a lot of you had marked option number 5 and 3. 5 says you would be able to know who the troublemakers in the plant are by interacting with the supervisor. Okay, was Okay, I do not know kitne 10% of your mark. Sorry, 0% of your mark. That's right. Okay. Option number 3, lot of your mark. Option number 3, individual agreements with supervisors would allow the management to prevent any possible collective action. Any possible collective action. But if you look at here, any possible collective action. Let me read. Somewhere it has been written. The company did not have a history of strikes and or any form of a collective action and was considered to have a good work culture. So in the past, companies have never had any kind of strike, any form of the collective action, and it has a very, very good work culture. So can the answer be option number 3? Tell me now. No. Of course, the answer is not. It may happen, but what was this the reason that he was talking to the each and every four people? Please tell me. Was this the reason? No, but the question is what, Ari, the question is talking about the most likely premise behind Thakur initiative regarding individualized meeting. So here the question is not talking about what has happened in the last. It is talking about what was the purpose of meeting individually with each and every people. Okay. Clear? So that was this the purpose of the answer? That is the reason that the answer can't be option number 3. His purpose was nothing but his purpose was given clearly in the passage that a better goodwill towards the management. He want to portray like here it says, he could portray the management concern for the employees because he felt that this way. So that's why the answer should be option number 1, not the option number 3. Okay. And again, like Subhash says, it might be possible that there can be a collective action, but in the past, such type of the situation has never occurred, and it has been clearly mentioned in the passage that this is not the reason for the individual meeting. Okay. So can I move to the next question? The correct answer for this question is option number 1. Easy, I don't think it was a difficult question. Most 50% of your got it right. More than 50%. All right. Now let's move to next question, question number 2. All right. Out of the following, which one seems to be most likely cause of Ramlal grievance? Now Ramlal grievance, that is very, very important. So question number 6, I'm just saying the result of the poll. 3% of you are saying this one, 72% of you had marked this, 10% of you had marked this, 0% of you had marked this, and 7% of you had marked all of these. Out of the following, which one seems to be most likely cause of this one? Of course, the correct answer for this question is option number 2. His being in the night shift had worked to his disadvantage as he could not interact with the management regarding the problem. That is the clear mention. Now, those who are doubting the other options, let me discuss. First option. His disappointment with the management philosophy of having one-to-one interaction as the supervisors were in a way being forced to accept. So he was disappointed with the one-to-one interaction? No. Okay. So it was completely, in fact, it is contradicting. He got disgruntled at the lack of discussion of this one-to-one meeting. He was not able to do one-to-one meeting with this one. So that is the reason that he got disgruntled at the last. So that's why the answer can't be option number 1. Any doubts to anyone in option number 1 now? No. And also it is talking about his grievance. So his grievance, which means what was his grievance in the beginning? Not his action which has happened in the last, which is given in the last paragraph. Okay? It is talking about his grievance. Because he was not able to meet with the president. That was his grievance. He was not allowed to meet chairman of the board of the directors of the company. Now, those 10% of you had marked. He was not allowed to meet chairman of the board of the directors of the company. Not allowed to meet. This is nothing but this is the after aspect of the grievances. Okay? Because of this factor, he directly moved to the president. So that's why the answer number can't be option number 3. Also, another reason is is not able to meet the chairman of the board of directors. Does anywhere in the passage it has been given that he wanted to meet with the chairman of the board of the directors? President. The entire paragraph, it is talking about the president, not the board of directors. So that is the another reason also we can eliminate option number 3. ऑप्शन नंबर 4 वैसे नहीं होगा, ऑल ऑफ दिस तो वैसे नहीं होगा, ठीक है. इज दैट क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? Any doubts to anyone in any other options? Don't. Can I move to the next question? So this question was also an easy one, not a difficult one. 7. It says the most important causal factor for this entire episode could be. So first of all, let me say the answer. See, 0%, 3%, 7%, 62%, and 21%. All. So the correct answer for this question in this case is, of course, I'll go with the majority of you. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, great. So the correct answer for this question is, of course, option number 4, inconsistent dealing of Mr. Thakur with the supervisor. That is the answer, inconsistent dealing of Mr. Thakur with the supervisor. Now, here, if the question is important causal factor for this entire episode. Okay, so entire episode basically it is talking about what is given in the last paragraph of this case study. If I go to the last paragraph of the case study, this episode, that last Thursday afternoon, Ramlal stopped by the president's office and tries to see him. Mr. Thakur and the secretary refused his request. Okay, so basically the episode which is given in the last passage, this is what question is talking about. Okay, now. The most important causal factor, trying to follow divide and rule policy. No, nothing has been given in the entire paragraph, so this can't be the answer. Okay. Patternistic approach towards mature individual in the organization. No. Okay. Now, doubts can be between option number 4 and 5. So, option number 5 says inadequate standard for measurement of supervisors on job or performance, and the 4th is inconsistent dealings. Okay. So basically, when you are saying inadequate standards, so what I can say that the precedent policy was not at all inadequate. Okay. The problem was the implementation part that was inconsistent. Okay. So standard was, you can't say that the standard was inadequate. The problem was nothing but here basically it was the implementation of that, because he was able to talk to all the supervisors who was of the day shift, but he was not able to the day shift. So that's why the correct answer should be inconsistent dealing. Standard, so that was same for each and every employee. Okay? Is that clear? The problem was the implementation. So any doubts to anyone now? Clear hai? Any kisi option mein doubt hai, you can ask me. The only fifth, what I'm saying fifth is that fifth way it says inadequate standard for measurement of the supervisors on job performance. Okay. Nowhere in the passage it has been given that there was an inadequate standard. Had the standard will be inadequate, probably all the people who are working in the day shift, they might have also been issues with him. When you are saying performance, is measuring the performance. No, the standard was adequate, but the implementation part where it fails. So versus. ठीक है, सबके लिए तो सेम ही स्टैंडर्ड थे ना. ठीक है, he was able to negotiate with all the day supervisors but failed to follow the same process for the night supervisors. So implementation part, or you can say inconsistent day, that was it. Okay. No, you can't say it is an inadequate standard money. ठीक है ना, inadequate standard, it would have said that whether probably if it would have been for also for the people who are working the day shift. Okay. The main reason was that he was able to meet with every people who are working on a day shift. ठीक है ना, and on the same basis, ठीक है, on the same basis he had decided the salary of the night shift worker, so the standard was not needed. Okay. Question number 8. That's a very, very interesting question. Let me see how many of you have got it right. Question number 8. 0%, 3%, 0%, 86%, and 3%. Okay, and 7%. So let's see. Now it says the situation with Mr. Lal could have been avoided if Mr. Thakur had. And there are four situations. Now it says the above, the option that best arranges the above managerial interventions in decreasing order of organizational impact. Decreasing order of the organizational impact. So can I say the option or the statement out of 1, 2, 3, 4 states, the statement which will create a maximum impact on the organization, that should come in the first, yes or no? You all agree with me? The statement which create a maximum impact, because I need to arrange them in a decreasing order. Okay. So the option which is going to create a maximum impact, that should always come in the first. Okay. Now, so the point here is which option should come in the first. First option, first statement. Delegated the task of a negotiation of wage contract for night shift employees to personnel department. Okay. Only for night shift employees, delegate this task to personnel department. Statement number 2, create a process for supervisors working in the night shift so that they could have an opportunity to interact with him. Okay. ये मुझे लगता है this is better than statement 1, yes or no, which will create a maximum impact if I decided to talk to each and every people. Third, create an open door policy that would have allowed employees to see him without any appointment. Okay. And fourth, it is postpone the decision of wage revision for supervisors in the night shift for 2 months since supervisors were rotated on a different shift after every month. Which statement is going to create a positive impact on the positive organizational impact? Statement number 2. Create a process for supervisors working in the night shift so that they could have an opportunity. Because the entire thing has happened only because the people, supervisors of night shift were not able to talk to him. So 2 should come in the first, and there is only one option which is starting with 2. So I can straight away reject option number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the answer is option number 5. I'm quite surprised. इतने कम लोगों का ये आंसर सही आया, ऐसा क्यों? 2 should come in the first. ओके आई थिंक ओके जस्ट अ मिनट, ये जो डेटा है ना मैंने गलत दे दिया था एक्चुअली, मैंने किसी और क्वेश्चन का डेटा दे दिया था. आई कैन जस्ट से दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. 7% of you had marked option number 4 actually. 7% you marked option number 4, 17 and 10 and 14 and 41. Okay, so ठीक है 41% of you got it right. That's great. 70% मैंने कहाँ से दी थी? Okay, any doubts to anyone now? A lot of you have got it right. Just a okay, why 4 is in the last? देखो एक तो one of the reason कि मेरे पास कोई option ही नहीं है, ठीक है, but still I can say why 4 should be last. 4 says postpone the decision of a wage revision for supervisors in the night shift for 2 months. So definitely delegate the, okay, if I compare with the rest of other thing, which can just here, statement 1, 2, 3 with in comparison to 4. So in 1, 2, 3, 4 here we are actually talking to the night shift workers right now. Yes or no? Why to delay with the 2 months later on? Yes, and also try to understand, for example, in your case, I'm just taking, if you're working somewhere, okay, and I talk to all the people who are working in the same role as you are working, सबका appraisal होता है, ठीक है? But your appraisal, if I'm going to decide that your appraisal is going to be after 2 months because I'm not getting a time, so will it create a good impact, organizational impact? नहीं ना? Because it is actually extending the problem, and in rest of all the cases, the problem will be solved earlier. Bhauk says, is that clear, Chindan? Bhauk says for organizational impact, shouldn't the task be given to the personnel department only? No. Therefore, organizational impact probably if the CEO of a company, the president of the company itself is talking individually to each and every person, so that will be a very good thing for a company. No? Okay. Once in a while, Bhauk, if you're working somewhere and once in a while the CEO of the company came and talked to you personally, okay, maybe of 4 minutes, 5 minutes, so it is going to create a very good impact in the organization. बाकी सारे लोगों से तो तुम हमेशा ही बात करते रहते हो, isn't it? So any other doubts to anyone now? Is that clear to all of you? Let's go to question number 9. I'll just share the data for question number 9. Let's see. Let me understand what people are thinking about this one. Question number 9, 0, 3, 0, 86, and 3. Yes, that's right. The correct answer is, of course, option number 4. 86% of you have got it right. That was an easy one. Let me discuss. Apart from the supervisors working in the night shift, executive of which department will have the most justified reason? I can say personal department has to be included. Yes or no? Because personal department is HR department, because this kind of the role about talking about the salaries and everything, that is the part of a personal department. So personal department is going to be totally affected by this one. For it was their work to oversee wage policies for employees, and they had been ignored by Mr. Thakur. So statement number 5 should be included. So on the basis of which, I can eliminate a couple of the option choices. Answer can't be option number 1 and option number 3. 5 is in the remaining 3 options. Now, again, finance department. Why not finance department? Because finance department, it is whether the money came from only the whatever the salary you are going to distribute among the workers, that is going to come from the finance department. So of course, the finance department should also be included. So 2 and 5 is very, very necessary. Okay, and production department also, you can say that. But 2 and 5 among the given option, there is only one option in which 2 is also included. So I can eliminate 2, option number 2 and option number 5. Because only finance department can decide ना कि कितनी salary होनी चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए, उससे discuss करना तो important है. Whether they have that got the money also to distribute that. So is that clear to all of you? Any doubts to anyone? And personal, okay, production department is included here for not being consultant regarding the behavior, because whether all the supervisors who was working, whether their performance on the floor are good or not, to discuss with them, probably we can say production department should be also included in that case. Can I move to the next question? And last one. Which of the following managerial attributes does Mr. Thakur seem to lack the most? Let me see. Question number 10. 7%, ethical behavior 24%, 3%, and 45%. Okay. The correct answer of this question is option number 5. Emotional stability under pressure. It says it is talking about lacking emotional instability under pressure. He is actually showing the emotional instability under the pressure. So he's not lacking this one. He's lacking in emotional stability under the pressure. So the answer can't be option number 1. ये तो clear है ना? The answer can't be option number 1. Okay. I'll come to each and every point. Just wait. एक एक करके. All right. अब proactive problem solving. Now, Atul, try to understand. When he decided to formulate a new policy, this came from the proactive thinking. So he was very much proactive actually. That's why because of his proactive thinking only, he decided to discuss everything with each and every employee, so that there would be a good impact among the workers about the entire management team. So that's his answer can't be option number 2. Is that clear, Atul? Now, ethical behavior, option number 3. Okay, ethical, what do you mean by the, like Yaswant and Rajendra said, why not say ethical behavior? What do you mean by the ethical behavior? Tell me, what is the meaning of ethical behavior? Try to understand this. ऐसा कहीं भी पता चल rules and etiquette, as per the ethics, Idle behavior. Okay. Yes. So was he lacking ethical behavior? ठीक है. हाँ. अच्छा, ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात बताई तुमने. एथिकल बिहेवियर इंक्लूड्स वन टू वन डिस्कशन विद द सुपरवाइजर. इज इट एथिकल बिहेवियर विच इज नॉट द वर्क ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंपनी? ओके. ये कहां से तुमने सोचा कि इट इज नॉट द वर्क ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ ए कंपनी? दिस इज नॉट एथिकली राइट. कुछ भी अपने आप बना देते हो. नहीं. ठीक है. Now, ethical behavior is basically, you can say, if you go for the dictionary meaning or anything like so, you can say that acting in a way consistent with what society and individual typically thinks are the good values and morally which is right. That might include honesty, equality, dignity, diversity, and individual rights and everything. Okay, which the society thinks that is, yes, the moral principle here. So that's why the answer can't be option number 3. Nothing, nowhere it has been mentioned. Now, he was behaving with everyone. He was behaving with each and every person perfectly right. But one day what happened, okay, one day what happened that when that guy, uska naam kya tha, the supervisor was working, Ramlal, okay, he lost the control. So he lost the control. वही मैं चीज बोल रहा हूँ. He punched it back. Why? Because he was not able to handle the pressure at that particular point of time. Sahil, do you got my point? Let me come to it. It says, Mr. Thakur stood up and told Ramlal to get out of the office and explain his behavior. Ramlal took a swing at the president, who in turn punched Ramlal on the jaw. So here we are talking about this particular instance. So whether this is related with the unethical behavior? Nahi na? He was not able to decide that, okay, what should he do? He was completely out of control. He has become completely out of control. He became angry at that particular point of time. So ideally, a president should not do, because he was under the pressure, or you can say emotional instability. No, you can't say that emotional instability under pressure is a part of ethical behavior. No. He was not stable at that point of time. Okay, he was a very mature person. He was a very senior executive. He was the president of that particular company. So probably he was emotionally he become unstable at that particular time. You can say. Okay. अगर पूरा behavior अगर totally unethical होता, then there are a lot of things which the society thinks. Okay, in this case, just do you think that the society will think like this, or that he's completely, he was not ethically right and morally he's whatever he has done wrong? Misbehavior, but tell me, Yashwant, what, okay, whether he misbehaved? No. Ramlal misbehaved. And at that point of time, he has lost his control completely. Okay, try to understand. He never misbehaved with anyone. Rajendra, again, please try to understand. Does anywhere it has been given in the passage that he's talking to each and every person to avoid a future strike in the company? कहीं पे ये mention है क्या? What is the reason of discussing one to one? He should have arranged for a meeting. Yes, he should have arranged for a meeting probably whenever he gets a time. So you cannot say that it is unethical. No? Arif, take a, for a meeting you need to take an appointment from the people. So probably it might be possible he was not able to think in this way. अगर मैं यहाँ पे देखता हूँ ना, just see the last paragraph. ठीक है. He had tried to see him, Mr. Thakur. Secretary refused his request on the grounds. Okay, he was trying to seek an appointment to say time nahi mila, so he cannot say this is totally unethical, not on his part. Okay, how does he know that he's actually trying to meet? Because at times, okay, your company probably if you want to meet with the chairman or CEO of the company, and then you need to take an appointment with their personal secretary, and if the personal secretary is not giving you a time, so how does he is responsible for that? maybe he's not aware of that all these facts. ठीक है ना? अपॉइंटमेंट तो उन्हीं लोगों के साथ उनके प्रेसिडेंट से फिक्स होते हैं कि जो which seems to be very very important at that point of time. Okay. अच्छा, yes, so and राजेंद्र, बहुत issues है तुम्हारे साथ, ठीक है? Where it has been given, just here, Mr. Thakur recently appointed as a president. He has undertaken to solve some of the management employee problems by dealing directly with the individuals. This is the reason behind meeting with, have an individual meeting with each and every people. Nothing has been mentioned ना, ये culture और ये history strikes नहीं हो future में, इसके लिए वो meeting कर रहा है, कहाँ पे given है? And how does it has to be related with the ethics? Not at all. ठीक है? Go through this link which I am sharing with you. Try to understand what do you mean by ethical behavior. And you are actually completely opposite this one. If you read here, if your business always runs with ethical behavior, then you shouldn't have any big legal problems to worry about. ठीक है? If you are ethically right, so कभी कोई problem होगी नहीं कंपनी. Any other doubts to anyone? पक्का? Clear to all of you? Yes, one. Aris, Mani, and all of you. All right. So let's end the session. Like I said, today's session is going to be a very small session, only of approximately 90 minutes. Okay. Tomorrow is going to be a long session. Because in tomorrow's session, there is a one set based on the probability also. Okay. So let's end the session here. Good night to all of you. We'll be meeting tomorrow. Next tomorrow. Tomorrow is, I think, English lecture. The day after tomorrow is mine. अच्छा, another thing is, one more thing which I wanted to discuss before you all log off. ठीक है, already 2008 तक के तो सारे quant के lectures हो गए. I have also a collection of questions from the XAT 2005 and 6 paper. Quant question, not English के questions नहीं है. 2005 और 6 के quant के questions. Do you want to have any session where I can discuss all this? Because at that point of time, XAT usually never used to give the paper. XAT वालों ने paper देना start किया था 2008 से. So उसके questions भी मेरे पास हैं, quant questions. 2005 and 6, which is memory-based questions at that point of time when I have written that in 2005 and 6. So if you want one particular session wherein, because 2008 तक के सारे videos तो already available कर दिए हैं और classes नहीं. So I'll keep it on Sunday, not on this Sunday. We'll see. We'll see on which Sunday because किस दिन कर सकता हूँ मैं देखता हूँ. 2005 and 6 key questions. काफी हो जाएगा, around maybe earlier there used to be around 50 questions, so maybe there will be 100 questions. So we'll keep a long session of quant session, 3 to 4 hours on some Sunday, not this Sunday because Snap is on this Sunday. उसके बाद वाला Sunday, 17 plus 7, 24th, probably on 24th or 25th. We'll see that on Christmas. There will be holiday for all of you. So morning में we can discuss that. That will be an extra what we discuss. ठीक है ना? You can see all the questions 2005 6 में कैसे questions होते हैं. Okay guys, चलो, good night to all of you.
Music